Did you know that there are adults that drink too much and drive about 121 million times per year, resulting in over 300,000 incidents of drinking and driving? Wouldn't you consider this a problem? Even if you've never been affected by the means of a DUI, everyone can agree that it is a reoccurring problem that needs a solution. There are many aspects that play into a DUI case, but a person's choice to drink and the consequences of drinking and driving are the most vital in coming up with a solution.
What is a DUI, you ask? A DUI means to drive under the influence of drugs or alcohol. In the U.S., the standard alcohol content level is 0.08. Anyone above who gets pulled over and their alcohol content level is above 0.08 will be charged. They can be charged with anything from a traffic offense to a DUI felony. Every 51 minutes, someone is killed in a DUI accident. In addition, every 120 seconds, someone is injured in a DUI accident. So because of this, the U.S. put out a no-tolerance law for anyone under the age of 21. If someone gets pulled over and they have alcohol in their blood and they're under the age of 21, they will be automatically arrested. The average number of people arrested for DUIs is 1,500,000. 10,075 of these people die in DUI accidents. And the average cost for each DUI accident is approximately $1,030,000. As you heard, DUIs result in many problems such as injuries and death, putting a costly burden on not only your family, but the government as well. It costs approximately $7,185 for a funeral. That's not including the burial or the casket. In addition, it costs the government between $500 to $2,500 per accident cleanup. As Jalen stated earlier, that approximately 300,000 DUI accidents happen annually, costing the government $750 million for accident cleanups. However, not all accidents lead to death. Some accidents lead to injuries which can be short-term, such as swelling, broken limbs, or stitches. However, this person will recover in a short period of time. In addition, they can result in long-term injuries. Long-term injuries such as depression, anxiety, or a lifetime full of pills to cope with the pain.
A person's choice to drink is the number one leading cause of DUIs. Understanding the cause can lead to a great solution. Now, everyone can agree that there are many bumps in the road that occurs in people's life, and some bumps are bigger than others, and life can seem hard or rough as a whole at times. A job or even school are two prime examples of stressors that can lead a person to drink and lead them not to care enough for themselves or others to drink and drive. Many know that a job that is loved or even hated can be or get stressful. That is, if you allow it to. Now, the responsibilities, the tasks that must get done in a timely manner, it can all get overwhelming in conjunction of having to pay bills and maintaining a good health. Now, most of us, if not all, can say that school is a whole different ballgame of stress. There's many different assignments like projects, papers that are due not only for 1 or 2 classes, but on average 5 or 6 classes for a full-time student. Juggling that along with sustaining a prospering social life can be very challenging, and often things have to give. Both stressors result in finding an outlet to cope with the many curveballs that occur throughout the span of your life. And that coping mechanism could be drinking. And one day you could be drinking and driving, therefore getting a DUI. And with a lot of habits they come naturally, or they're picked up from others. One way of picking up a habit is through peer pressure. One kind of peer pressure is normative influence, and normative influence is the most general type of peer pressure and the kind that causes individuals to engage in certain behaviors such as drinking or taking drugs to fit into the group. The second kind of peer pressure that can result in a DUI is facilitative influence. Facilitative influence is when being in a certain group makes it easier to engage in certain behaviors. For example, when a college student attends a party and everyone is drinking, it makes it seem easier to feel that it is okay for them to drink, even though they may have been the designated driver.
According to the statistics, suspending or revoking a driver's license for those driving under the influence or other drugs has been proven to be a successful deterrent when implemented by the state. Okay. Now that we've established the problem and cause pertaining to should a person with more than one DUI lose their license, this brings us to the solution of revoking the license. The driver with the DUI, depending upon the crime committed of killing another person or not, will determine in how long the driver's license is suspended for. The penalty to the driver with the DUI that didn't result to the death of another person, their license should be revoked for 3 to 5 years, and during that time, he or she will have to commit to 10 hours of community service for 5 weekends and pay a fee of $250. Even though the driver made a bad choice of choosing to drink and drive while under the influence, the fact that he or she did not lead or cause any harm to another person or a death to another person, their penalty should not be that harsh. The penalty to the driver with the DUI that did result in the death of another person, their license should be revoked for 6 to 10 years. And during that time, he or she will have to commit to a rehabilitation center for a year and 15 hours of community service for 2 years. Not to mention that the individual with the DUI that did result in the death of another person, they will have to face charges and the court's decision of manslaughter. But at this point, it's clear that this individual may have a serious addiction or a problem. So, which brings me to getting your license granted back to you. In order for a driver to be granted back their license after a DUI, he or she must take a series of tests that includes a written and driving part of the test. Okay, so after the individual has passed the written part or the written portion of a test, that individual will be able to proceed to the driving test, and if he or she passes, that individual will be able to get their license granted back to them after it has expired.
I'm going down. What you did. Yeah. I should have never got inside your car. I should have stayed home or just went shopping at a different store. I should have waited or just caught an Uber, but I lived too far. No more tantrums. And then no more questions, no more answers. No more homework with my daughter, no more second chances. No more baby in my belly, sad to say we died. Oh, because you choose to drink and drive. Wow.
There are many more factors that play into DUIs. Now that you're more aware of some of the reasons people choose to drive while intoxicated and some of the consequences they could be faced with, be sure to have a designated driver prior to drinking, because every 51 minutes someone dies in a DUI accident. That person could be your mom, dad, brother, sister, or even you.